Katie here from the Scrappy Sisters, and I am up today with the 12 by 12 layout. This is a very old photo of me. When I say very old, it's probably maybe 10 years old, of me and my cousin. And we were just out and having fun, and I decided I wanted to scrap it. So what I am doing is I'm using a Kitaholic Kits kit here. I don't remember the month, I apologise. I filmed this video quite some time ago and I'm only just now getting around to editing it, and it's, what is it? It's July, the end of July now, and I think it might have been a June kit, it might have even been a May kit, I don't know. So I decided that I wanted to back my layout on a piece of pattern paper, which I do sometimes, but not very often. So I chose this piece of paper here that you can see with some blue and yellow and sort of tealy colour, and I gutted the inside of it so that I could use the scraps for something else. I don't always do that. If I don't love the piece of pattern paper, I won't. I've got so much paper that it doesn't really matter if I don't if I don't gut the inside. Also, if I've done a lot of mixed media on the white cardstock, sometimes I won't gut the inside of the page because it gives it a bit of extra sort of sturdiness to the layout. Anyway, so I'm cutting out the inside. Probably could have edited this bit out. I'm a bit rusty. We've been, it's been about over a month since I have done any form of YouTubing. It's actually been about 2 months since I've done any scrapbooking. So there's a lot of things happening in my life at the moment, which hopefully I'll fill everyone in. I'll do a face-to-face video or something and fill everybody in on where we've been at. But both my sister and I have been a little bit MIA from YouTube for a while. So it's nice to come back to it. Okay. So I should probably get back to talking about the layout. I am just putting the double-sided tape down so I can stick my white cardstock to this backing paper. I find I use double-sided tape for everything, as you will have noticed if you watch my videos on a regular basis. That is mainly because I find it the most economical way, or adhesive, apart from maybe liquid glue. But I do use tape. Double-sided tape. We don't have, we can get ATG guns in Australia, but it is a little bit more difficult, and the fill, the tape for those is also a little bit more difficult to find. Not impossible, and you can order it online, but the tape that I use I just get from Spotlight, which is our local craft store, although I did notice the other day that I think they've changed suppliers or changed the way they're selling it, so it may not be the most economical option anymore. I'll need to have a look once I run out of the stash that I have, which is quite a lot. Then I'll be, I guess, doing a bit of research into what's out there. But for me personally, I find the double-sided tape is the cheapest. And I do try sometimes and use less of it, but it doesn't always happen. Sometimes I go a little overboard. Alright, so I am just mounting my photo here on some pattern paper, just sort of bringing in the colours from the backing paper that I used. So it has a bit of yellow, teal and mint, as well as the dark blue. So I'm just sort of trying to bring some of those colours into the rest of the layout. So I've mounted on a teal piece and now I'm mounting it on a bit of mint green cardstock. I'm also, probably should have said this earlier, I am following a sketch for this. I am part of a Facebook group that has a lot of sketch challenges, and I find when I'm lacking a bit of mojo, need a bit of help coming up with some creative flair, that sketches are a good way to go for me, because it just gives me, I guess it takes the thinking out of the layout and just lets me sort of create without having to really think about composition or anything like that, because I can use the sketch as a guide. So for those of you like me who have been lacking a bit of scrappy mojo lately, I do find sketches are a really good way to go. And Facebook groups with the challenges are also really good too, because you get to interact with people and hang out with people and have fun and talk about scrapbooking and sort of see what everybody else is creating, which I find helps with the mojo as well. So here I am I want to use this branding strip to sort of, I guess, anchor a title. So what I'm doing is just having a look at the glitter thickers that came in the kit to see if I liked any of them for a title. We also got these gold glitter word things in the kit, which I don't love. I'm not sure I'll get a lot of use out of those. but I decided not to use them on this layout, but hopefully they've been thrown into my stash now, so hopefully I will find a use for them on past layouts. I think they'd actually be really good for Project Life because they're so flat, and I like to use flat embellishments in Project Life, so they will probably go into sort of my Project Life based stash. So I'm going through the die cuts here, just pulling out the ones that I think will work for this layout. I've got an ephemera pack, may have been from Dear Lizzie, I don't know. I know the puffy stickers are definitely from Dear Lizzie, and so is the washi booklet. I don't know about the die cuts. Can't remember off the top of my head. They might be from Shamil. I don't know. I've probably got them on my desk still though. Yeah, I can't put my hands on them right now, so I don't know exactly where they're from, but I do feel like it's Dear Lizzie. Yes, definitely Dear Lizzie. So I've pulled out those. Also in the Kitaholic Kits subscription, you get some exclusive die cuts, which are already cut out for you, which is nice. So I'm also pulling a few things from there as well. So I'm just pulling those to the side, the ephemera pieces that I've pulled out. Not all of them will make it onto the layout. And I'm going to work on my title and where my title is going to go. So I've just cut down this branding strip, which is the same as the backing paper. And I'm going to stick that, I'm going to put the double-sided tape on it, and I'm going to pull the double-sided tape off, and then I'm going to think, oh, actually, I want to add a few other strips, and I use the washi booklet for that, but I sort of probably should have thought of that before I pulled this double-sided tape off, because it is a bit annoying having the stickiness sort of facing up and trying not to. Anyway, it works. I have no disasters. I just probably did it in the wrong order. So I'm going through the washi book and I'm trying to find the sort of mint green colours and the teal colours to use, which go with the papers that I've already chosen. And I stick down 2 pieces of washi, and then I put the branding strip on top of that, and that forms the sort of, I guess, ledge, for want of a better word, for my title to rest on. So I do edit out the title process because it takes me a really long time. I do use a combination of the blue, greeny, teal coloured puffy stickers, as well as, or puffy thickers, as well as the alphas that came in the kit, which are a really skinny, puffy white alpha, which I really like. So I edit all of this out because it takes me a really long time. And as you'll see in a second, when I jump to the finished version, it doesn't actually make any sense, my title, and I do change it. So at the moment, my title is Dance Joy with Cousins. What does that even mean? That doesn't make any, I don't know what I was thinking. Anyway, I come back to it at the end. So in the meantime, I am going to pop my photo up using some dimensionals and stick that down, and then I am going to work on my embellishment clusters. So you can see here I've placed my photo in the center underneath the title. So it's not in the direct center of my page, but it is centered underneath the title. And I'm going to create 3 embellishment clusters using the embellishments that I'd already sort of pre-selected, and I'm going to do one on the right hand side of the photo, one on the left hand side of the photo, and one sort of above the word joy in the title. So I use mainly florals. I know this is a picture of myself and my cousin, but I do a lot of, I guess, what some people might say are girly layouts. I don't like to gender anything. I think any layouts can have florals, but I do tend to use a lot of floral. I love a good floral. And so this layout has a lot of flowers included in it, but I think it ends up looking quite cute. I just use a couple of the pops of yellow, mainly in the sort of middle of the flowers, to sort of bring in some of that yellow from the piece of pattern paper I've used to mount my layout on. It's the only other, I guess, area that has a lot of yellow. So I don't bring too much yellow into the layout, but there are a couple of little bits of yellow. And I like that little pop that it gives. Kind of ties in nicely with my cousin's t-shirt. He's wearing a yellow t-shirt, so that works quite well, I think. So as usual with my embellishment clusters, and probably most people's embellishment clusters, some things I am popping up with foam, and some things I'm leaving flat, just depending on what I think looks good. So that top one I have just finished, and now I'm working on the bottom right. So I'm sticking down the leaf piece, which was one of the exclusive die cuts, and I'm adding a tag which came in the die cuts from Dear Lizzie. And I'm also adding a couple of floral pieces, which again were from the exclusive die cuts. So I'm adding those to the layout on a bit of foam. Now, I do want to let you know now while I'm thinking of it, while I was recording this layout, I didn't realise that my camera had stopped. So I get through 90% of my layout, or 95% of my layout. There's a few things that the recording cut out. So one of those is changing my title. I added a couple of extra embellishment pieces, and obviously I also added some mist splatters, because what is a layout of mine without mist splatters? But I am going to come back live, so to speak, and fill you in on the bits that got cut off. So it's not a lot of it. You do see the bulk of the layout obviously being recorded in the process, but I do miss just a couple of bits. And I thought, oh, I better tell you that now before I forget. So I am just finishing off this embellishment cluster on the left hand side, and then that will be done for the moment, and I will sort of look through and add some puffy stickers to the layout. So first off, I grab the puffy stickers that came in the Dear Lizzie collection, just to see if I wanted to use anything else. I think I may have already said this. I had to film this voiceover twice because I lost my footage. But it's the Dear Lizzie collection. I can't remember what it's called, but it's got the cat mermaids, whatever they are. But it's got the cat mermaids. So I'm adding the birds now. There you go. I didn't miss out adding the birds. So I'm adding a bird to each of the clusters because I thought that was super cute. And then I am looking through the puffy stickers. So I grab out, as I said, the Dear Lizzie ones. I don't find anything that works in those, so I do grab the pink fresh hearts, which did come in the kit as well. I think it did anyway. I also have an extra pack in my stash, so I forget which came in the kit and which I grabbed for my stash, but I'm adding some puffy stickers, and then that is it for this portion of the layout. And my video does cut out, but I will cut back to you live and you will be able to see how the layout finished. Okay, hello everyone, welcome back, and I am sorry that my recording didn't sort of finish the layout. I didn't realise that my phone had stopped recording until it was too late and I'd already finished. Now, as I said, you didn't miss much in the process. So I had just finished sticking down the puffy hearts, or was sticking down the puffy hearts, when my video cut out. So the only sort of things I added or changed to the layout since then is the title, which originally, I don't know what I was thinking. It made absolutely no sense. So the title now reads Dance for Joy with My Cousin. So that makes a lot more sense. I don't know if I'd included this bird in the layout or if I added it at the end. I know I definitely had these two, but I can't remember if I had the third one in already. And the only other thing I added was the mist splatter, which I always have in my layout, so it should be no surprise to anyone. And I used gold, I used the teal, and I used the navy. And that's it. That was the completed layout. So it really, you didn't miss much in the process video recording. I will show you a couple of close-ups, but this is it. This is the finished layout. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we will see you in the next one. Bye guys.